Hello, Mark.
Nathan,
how are you?
I'm good. I'm good, my friend. It's good to see you, and thank you. So, this is exciting for you and I, isn't it? Tonight, this is
Definitely.
exciting.
We have our first guest on the podcast.
And we do have our first guest, without giving away too much, that it's being recorded at nighttime, evening time, daytime, or whatever. So there's the first clue. We absolutely do. And we are going to bring on an award-winning director to discuss his latest project that is just completed, that's out there, and his latest documentary, of course. So we are going to bring on James Kitazaki, and we are going to get straight into it. James, good to see you all the way from California. How are you, sir?
I'm very well. Good to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
No, not at all. You with Jacob Prash, Morial TV, you have done a fantastic documentary. Why this time is different? Why this time is different? And we want to get into that. But James, if I click play, I'll play the trailer and then we can unpack it from there. Is that okay with you?
Sounds great.
Brilliant, mate. Let's get into this.
Why is this time different? Because the echoes of history are not just memories. They are warnings. From Rome's arenas to the gates of infamy and sacred domes.
Come with us, please, and address this question.
This is not past history. This is present.
God used the Jewish people as a microcosm of the human condition to teach the rest of us that all have sinned, all fall short of the glory of God. None is righteous, no, not one.
We will be able to step and defeat the Satan. We will be able to overcome all obstacles, whether their name is Antiochus or Haman or Amalek, but we have a mission to raise the world, to lead the world into an understanding of a God who is a God who is inclusive, but we're worshiping the world and the God of it.
The Jews will be deceived. They think they're building a temple for the Messiah. They are, first of all, building a temple for the false Messiah.
I do apologize. I'm pushing so many buttons on at the same time. So, James, first of all, congratulations on the fact that you have won an award for this film. So could you please describe the award that you have won?
So Why This Time Is Different has won the Christian Online Film Festival Best Documentary for 2026, the month of February, which, you know, that is something. It does allow us to maybe get into the door of some more film festivals. We have 9 more festivals this year. And if we get even screened in some of them, I would be ecstatic.
Well, well done you, because I know it frankly is no mean feat to actually do that. So I know that. So what festivals have you been in so far?
The Christian Online Film Festival is the first. The next few will start rolling in April. We'll know if we make it in or not. We have about
Brilliant.
2 in April, and then more of them as the year progresses, all the way to November.
Brilliant. James, it was quite an undertaking, this, because you traveled to a number of countries, to say the least. So before we get into it, it's great to hear the backstory to this. So how many countries did you go to, and how long did it take to make?
This was filmed actually early March of last year. We went to Poland, to Israel, to Rome, to Brussels, and then we filmed the last bits in California. So it was an international undertaking. We definitely had to have somebody to get us filming permits. and transporting a crew transatlantically. These are all things that are difficulties that you learn as you start to make films.
Well, you did really well. You really did. So why is this time different, James? Why is this time different?
I would believe that this time is different is because we've seen a lot of the things that are going on in this world played out before. The anti-Semitism in Europe is at a fever pitch. We have not seen it like this since 1933, 1935, and the Nazi regime was actually starting to come up. But that same vehement hatred, the same turning on of the media, we have modern day Goebbels that are saying the same lies, the same blood libel that has always been used against the Jews. And with the October 7th attack, we can see that Israel truly is not only a microcosm, as Jacob said in the trailer, of the human condition, but even more so today, we see that it is God's timepiece for end time events. The fact that you can have a major political figure like Yehuda Glick talking about the third temple in such a way that he does, basically saying, we are going for the whole world going to be the center of this new religion that he describes, worshiping an inclusive God of this world, to quote him. And then that if even another Satan were to arise, an Antichrist, the Jews in their own strength will take him down. If you watch the movie, these are things that Yehuda Glick, and if you don't know who Yehuda Glick is, he's a Knesset member, a part of the Israeli parliament that at one time miraculously survived an assassination attempt. These are facts that really are essential to understand. This man has a lot of pull. He's the director of the Temple Institute. These are not small matters.
No, and I was privileged to be in the same room with him last November in Israel. James, can we break the film down, because you've just mentioned the clues are, of course, going to Poland is Auschwitz, which we see as Auschwitz, which we see where Jacobs is standing under Arbeit Mark Frey, and then you're inside the oven area. Sorry, I don't mean that flippantly. We're just describing this, and having been round there myself a number of years ago. And Nathan, you were there recently, weren't you?
June last year I was there. So we went to Israel in May, and then in June I took my wife to Auschwitz. Well, we went to stayed in Krakow, then took the trip to Auschwitz. That was my second time. I was there in 2001 as well, and it's changed significantly since then. But it is very moving to be in that location, to understand what went on, and also the psychology which was used against the people, the psychological warfare in Nazi Germany at that time to hypen and to bring about that so-called final solution, which thank God never happened. But we saw so many die, murdered at the hands of the Nazi regime. That Antichrist spirit, which you're right, is moving again.
James, both Nathan and I are deeply disturbed by as you said, it is moving again. And without sort of putting a time on this, I will say that we are recording this the day after the El Quds march or protest in London and elsewhere. The march was supposed to be banned, but then it was allowed, or they could stand static. I mean, I just find it unbelievable, really. And also you've had witnessed horrific marches to me in New York as well. Let alone the realization that Mamdani's wife, highlights certain X or tweets, as we'd like to say, for those of us that remember, highlight certain things, where Hamas was celebrating what they did on the 7th of October 2023. To some, it may seem uncomfortable to say these or mention these things, but tough. This is the reality. This is people flexing their muscles and think that this is perfectly acceptable way to behave. And also where Mandani in New York is turning around and saying, well, my wife hasn't got political office. She's a private citizen. Really? She's married to you, Mandani. Just a little reminder. James, so Poland, then it's Belgium, and you're going to Rome. So if you break down, and there's a good way to help you with those countries, if you break down the introduction to the film and then going through the halfway point without giving everything away, because we will come on to where people can then access it. Could you just give us a brief overview?
Sure. So Rome, we are looking at the ecumenical movement of the Catholic Church. We're also looking at the history of the many times, even in the millennia, where people were giving their property to the church in preparation for Christ's return. So that's why we did Rome. In going to Brussels and filming there, we were looking at the reconstituted Roman Empire of the EU and how that has affected Europe itself. Europe itself has become unmanageable of governance. It's worse than barbarians being at your gate. Barbarians are settling in your land, and the EU is encouraging it, which is very disturbing. So that's why we went to Brussels. And then we moved to Poland to talk about the genesis of the state of Israel. People need to understand, coming through the Holocaust, the only way to get an apathetic Europe to actually care about dead Jews was them to make enough noise for the European powers to actually give them land in Palestine. It's an unfortunate truth, but you're dealing with apathy from all the allied powers. I only have to talk about the time that Roosevelt himself turned back Jews from a boat to go back to Germany to go into the camps. So many times we see that the Gentile Christian nations could care less. And that's why the Jews insisted they needed a homeland. That's why in 48, you have the Jewish state being born. And today, you have a very similar problem. Everywhere around Israel, they have enemies that hate them, that find it contemptible that land that was previously Islamified is now in the hands of a different religion. They can't bear that because it actually goes to destroying their theology. So what do? They do the October 7th attack. They do all sorts of things to just try to destabilize and destroy that country and its people.
And James, Israel is 77 years young, but 3,500 years old, 4,000 years old. And the Jewish people have never left that land. There's always been Jews within the land. And Nathan, with both of us recently, we were in Israel last May. I was then back in there in November, and we're having, all three of us are having this conversation with the fact that we're days 15 into 16 into the operation that the Americans and the Israelis have then undertook against Iran. James, I can only guess of how that is playing out in your press, but it seems that your documentary is quite timely, especially with events again now playing out. What are your thoughts on that? Because we didn't know this was coming either, did we?
We certainly did not. And the fact that we are seeing this conflict in a biblically important, as far as prophecy, country like Iran, Persia, it just really echoes the fact that this movie has some kind of movement that I dare say it seems like it's appointed by the Lord. And I say that really with a lot of caution, but it's like there is talk, even by Reza Pahlavi, of strengthening the Abrahamic Accords to the Cyrus Accords, which immediately plays into the idea of a third temple. So it's like the proposed interim leader of the government of Iran, once the Iranians are gone, is going to push for a third temple, possibly. That's not insignificant, considering the whole focus of our movie is, prophetic events that will happen on that Temple Mount eventually, and how they indicate the return of Christ.
Nathan, what are your... Thank you.
Psychologically, the Jewish people in Israel have been prepared for a temple especially we're seeing an escalation in that in the last 6 to 7 years. So I think it was maybe 2020, 21. There was a resurge in posters being sent out to people in Jerusalem, where it was showing them about the temple on the Temple Mount and the new train system coming from Tel Aviv. And the people on the train that was using clever psychology, where the people had lambs on their shoulders, bringing them in to Jerusalem, and the temple in the background. The imagery was so much of temple worship and restoration of temple sacrifice. And so the information has been put out there to prepare the people, but rightly so. We know that this temple will be used by the Antichrist to bring about a one world order and set himself up to rule from that area. He will rule from Zion, seeking to establish a false messianic reign.
Yes.
And most Christians, most evangelical Christians, sadly, aren't prepared for that because they're funding it. But two, we also have the trauma which has been for the Jewish people for a long time, even prior to the Holocaust, because of the pogroms. Trauma is within the DNA. And so what we've found now within October the 7th, the trauma is so enhanced. Why? Well, people who have gone through trauma are easy to manipulate.
Yes.
And so then you will accept a man of so-called peace. And so this is all part of a larger force working here. But we know that we win in the end, because our Messiah, the true Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach, returns and puts his enemies, which are our enemies, under his feet. But sadly, we're in that point today where people don't understand that they talk about a great delusion. It's already here.
Absolutely.
And so,
interesting reflection I have filming there last March is on all of the light poles leading up to the Kotel, which is the Wailing Wall. There were these little circular stickers that had a image of the third temple, and it basically said, "Coming soon to a site near you."
Yes.
And those stickers were everywhere.
Yes.
And I was looking at them like, as a Christian, I'm like, is this a good thing? This means really dark things for us in the future. And, it's like they are celebrating it, like you said. And then when you look at the Temple Institute finding and training people with the last name Cohen and Levi, the Levitical rituals again, and the Levitical songs. I mean, Christians need to understand that this is so close. And if you're not in your Bible, you're going to miss the signs of this time.
Totally agree. Everything is prepared now for it to happen. It can happen when the Lord allows it. But he is testing the hearts of people to see where they stand. And people are not ready for the significant amount of devastation coming on the earth. They're not ready spiritually, never mind physically or psychologically. But the church, I often say, and Mark and I have discussed this, that the church is biblically illiterate to what is coming. And sadly, they don't know. And that's why it's good that your films come out, because hopefully it will challenge people to rethink their theology. It will challenge them to get in the scriptures and really wrestle with them, because the only way we can make through till the end is a close walk with God, personal relationship through Yeshua, and also knowing the Word of God and walking humbly before Him. It's not about being proud and arrogant and thinking, hey, I can do this, because we cannot.
Amen. James, I think this would be a good time to say, excuse me, where can people find your film? Where they can view it, and also all aspects of Moriel TV? Go, sir.
Absolutely. So you can definitely buy the film right now on moriel.org. We have DVDs, USBs, and digital downloads. Once again, that's MORIEL.org. If you go to our shopping link, you will find this poster and be able to purchase it. We are also on Vimeo if you'd like to go there. If you become a member of Vimeo, you can download and you can also rent it for about $5. Finally, Moriel TV YouTube. We do many live streams about current events. We have a lot of stuff about prophecy, and we do a lot of Bible studies and a lot of deep dives into the Word and how it applies to today. If you ever want to catch us on the live stream, it's really fun. It's Friday from 12:30 Pacific Standard to about 3, and we even have a Q&A at the end. So please, if you ever want to join and watch us, please come to Moriel TV on YouTube.
James, brilliant. It's been great to sit down with you and have this conversation, and I know that you're a little bit tight for time, but also what is fantastic is that we can all sit in 3 different areas of the globe, so to speak, even if both of us are in the UK, and then talk to you thousands of miles away in California. So I just urge everyone to put all the links, make sure we got all the links in the description to help people find it. James, without giving the game away too much, if you can, what's next for James Kitazaki, the up-and-coming huge director, award-winning? What's next, sir?
Well, right now we're trying to get 2 films funded. One of them is in post-production. It's called Live with Jesus in the Holy Land. That is currently in post-production. It's been filmed. The one that I'm really trying to push for is one called Satan's Throne, which is a documentary film about the Pergamum throne and the history of it moving from Turkey to Germany to Moscow, and what events seem to follow when that throne moves.
And that is written by a dear friend of mine,
Yes.
Jonathan Stewart Brown. And I look forward to having that conversation with you, James, about that, and those conversations we're having with dear Jonathan. So just give Jonathan a big shout out to that.
Absolutely.
That sounds, and it is, a very, very interesting project. A very interesting project. It's to me where the biblical law that is unfounded, that unfolded in Genesis 12. You bless my people, I will bless you. You curse my people, I will curse you. And there is this link here, which this my opinion, which I find absolutely intriguing. So James, that is very, very exciting. And also, again, congratulations to you, because I know how much hard work this has been, and also the actual physicalities and all the undertaking of filming internationally is no mean feat whatsoever. And we'll look forward to putting onto our website of dialogues.org.uk, where they can get the film and the Moriel TV links, and where they can download that and do that. James, is there anything else that we have not covered? I find it, having watched the film, it's very interesting when you are covering Europe, when you were talking about the rise, the reinstatement of the Roman Empire, and with all that means. And just to remind everyone in America and outside the UK, if they think that we have actually left the EU, then I have a bridge to sell you. And we are certainly finding that out right now, and that we have a Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, I believe is his name, that wants to take us back, really, with his party back into Europe. And on the 23rd of June 2016, 17,410,752 people, with a majority of over 1 million, voted to leave. So you can see how they view us and how they despise the people that actually voted for it. We are a democracy. Under the eyes of America, that means mob rule. And I understand that when we line that up against the American Constitution. But James, is there anything I've missed out? If there are any, do you want to just give us a reminder? Anything else that you wish to say, sir?
Yes, if you feel so inclined, we've approached many people to try to promote this film, and we've just been finding it very difficult to find anyone to promote it. So I'm personally asking your audience, if you watch our film and you feel that it's something that's timely and the message needs to get out, I'm going to ask you to please share it with someone who you think would actually watch it. Because that's the only way the film is going to get out at this point. Is, yeah, we can win some more film festivals, and that might increase our odds of somebody wanting to distribute it. But right now, our only distribution avenue is word of mouth and Christians who trust other Christians' opinions. So please watch the film. And if it does touch you, please share it with someone who would watch it.
James, thank you. And I'll tell you what, if we can link up when we have our week away, which is the end of June to the beginning of July, it'd be fantastic to link up with you and talk to you in the evening, and for you to then promote the trailer and the film, the film again. That'd be fantastic to do that. But we hear you loudly. But we're going to put this on our website, sir, and tell people where to go and get it. Right, James, I just want to thank you so much for joining us and for helping to bring people's attention to your documentary, which I do recommend people to see. It is, I think, is very good value considering what you were packed in there, which is a heck of a lot, and I think is extremely timely. So James, from Nathan and I, thank you so much. I'm going to play us out. We'll say goodbye to you on the other side, and thank you again, sir.
Thank you for having me.